Okay, which of the following is not true? So it has to be false. First choice, normal force does work on a crate sliding across the floor. So the tricky part about this problem is if you have a crate that's sliding across the floor, normal force is actually working up. So that means the displacement and the force, normal force that we're looking at, is perpendicular to each other, meaning the normal force doesn't actually do any of the work here. I'm going to go through and just double check the other ones. So the total energy of a system can be negative. That sounds like it's also false. But here's a situation. Let's say I have a building and I say that this is the ground, this would be the ground, H equals 0. So if I had some potential energy up here, it would be mgh, some height above this 0. So any potential energy above this, h equals 0 or above, is going to be a positive energy. But if all of a sudden I said that there is a cliff here and there is another h which would be, let's say, negative 10 meters down from h equals 0, then this h is actually a negative, which would make mgh a negative quantity also. This is going to help you in, I forget which problem, maybe 7 or 8. So it can be negative if you don't choose the correct h equals 0. Kinetic energy can only be positive for part C. If I look at Ke, that's going to equal 1/2 mv squared. And if I look at each one of those terms, 1/2, this is positive, mass has to be positive, and even if I have a negative velocity, whatever the velocity is, you have to square it. So this is also going to be a positive term. So kinetic energy can only be positive. The other option, the work done by a force may be negative. We saw before that if friction is working to slide, so I'll use the same drawing up here. Friction, if you're pushing to the right, friction works in the opposite direction. So the displacement, you can think of either the displacement or the force as going in the negative direction. So friction does negative work here. Work and energy are both measured in joules. That's true. So all of these true except for that first one.